You want answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth.
At Children's Hospital Los Angeles who tested positive for COVID-19 antibodies. 3 pediatric patients at Children's Hospital Los Angeles who tested positive for COVID-19 antibodies, showing symptoms of a rare autoimmune response doctors are calling pediatric inflammatory multisystem syndrome, or PIMS, which is similar to the autoimmune condition known as Kawasaki disease.
You can get a rash. Your mucous membranes are affected, so that means you have red lips, your eyes could be red, and there's also like lymph nodes that can be enlarged.
Northridge-based pediatrician Dr. Rishma Chand hasn't treated any COVID patients with PIMS, but tells parents to keep an eye out for potential symptoms.
If your child might have decreased energy, they might have like blue lips or blue skin. And obviously those are symptoms where you want to call 911 and bring your child into the emergency room as soon as possible if you see any of those complications.
Children's Hospital issued a statement saying this April, Children's Hospital Los Angeles has seen an increase in cases of typical and atypical Kawasaki disease, a rare condition affecting children, as compared to the previous 2 years. Nationwide, more than 80 children have been diagnosed with the disease in at least 7 states, but it's still unclear what causes the autoimmune condition. Doctors also say parents shouldn't panic because only 2% of COVID cases involve kids to begin with.
Of those 2%, not all of them have Kawasaki disease. Kawasaki disease is a very, very rare complication.
And doctors here at Children's Hospital say they will now go back to the start of the pandemic and take a closer look at any children who were diagnosed with Kawasaki disease to see if they too have COVID-19 antibodies. In Hollywood, Stephanie Stanton, Fox 11 News.
Got some new important information tonight on a story the News 4 I-team first broke. A rare syndrome in children linked to COVID-19. New York State just revealed 64 children now have it. News 4's Melissa Russo has been on top of this story since day one, and she's in the newsroom right now with a new alert, Melissa, from the state and an ICU doctor.
Yeah, David, and that number you mentioned, 64 children, coming as a surprise, I'm told, even to some senior state health department officials who, based on earlier manifestations of this virus, just did not anticipate seeing dozens of children critically sick. Racing to pediatric intensive care units throughout New York State, children in shock and in some cases even cardiac arrest. Children like 8-year-old Jaden Hardawar. As the I-team learned today, New York State hospitals have reported treating at least 64 children with these serious inflammatory symptoms now believed to be linked to COVID-19.
These cases have come up, 1 to 2 per day over the last 2 weeks.
Dr. Steve Kearney runs the pediatric ICU at Morgan Stanley Children's Hospital in Washington Heights. He says he got a phone call yesterday from Governor Cuomo's state health commissioner, Dr. Howard Zucker.
What I've heard from him and from everybody is that this later onset disease is surprising to most of us.
On Monday night, the city sent an alert announcing 15 cases like this citywide. But Dr. Kearney says he's had more than 15 cases just in his uptown ICU, suggesting the city is undercounting cases. 1 week ago, the I-team confirmed several additional cases at other city hospitals like Mount Sinai, NYU Langone, and Montefiore.
I want to thank Melissa Russo, who raised an important issue.
Mayor Bill de Blasio and his health commissioner were unaware of the local cases until we told them.
When we got the question from Melissa, I directed my staff to reach out to all of the pediatric providers.
And for the past week, we've been asking state officials the same questions and getting few answers. But yesterday, the state health department sent an urgent survey giving hospitals 24 hours to respond.
Start with facts first.
Governor Andrew Cuomo did not bring up the survey nor the 64 cases at his news conference this morning, but my colleague Katie Tur asked the governor about the subject during an interview on MSNBC this afternoon.
Has that potentially caught your health department off guard?
Well, I don't think it's caught anyone off guard, Katie. It's developing now. Apparently, they had a couple of cases in the UK on this. We're looking at it in New York. The information is all preliminary at this time.
Then the state sent an urgent alert to healthcare providers, laboratories, and hospitals, who are now required to immediately report these cases. Most of these children are testing positive for either COVID-19 or the antibodies, and Dr. Kearney says he thinks many of the children really had the virus 2 to 3 weeks earlier, but were asymptomatic and then developed an overactive immune response weeks later. David?
Melissa Russo, we look forward to more of your reporting on this.
All right, my subs. As I said in the last one, you can't handle the truth. And you are another brick in the wall, a cog in the machine. And I was saying that since you are a cog in the machine, and your future cogs in the machines will have to go back into school because there is nobody to babysit them. And since there's nobody to babysit them, that's what the public schools are for, because they believe that children are a low risk. And it's possibly true. The thing is, we do have to be careful. We have to be careful, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Bodies hit the floor, young or old. The great machine must go on, and it's up to you to protect your children. Because to the state, children are a human resource. Children are what you base your future economy on. They are your future producers and clients. So it doesn't surprise me that this COVID-19 would be going undiagnosed in children. I kept saying that the real bastard, or the real bitch of this virus, is that it attacks the bloodstreams and it actually affects other parts of the body. So it may not kill you right away. Even in battle, in wars, certain weapons are designed to do two things: kill and maim. Because maiming a soldier will actually drag down the rest of the troop. You injure enough soldiers, it's actually going to deplete the army, which is the same thing that the Spanish flu did. It didn't just kill soldiers, but it also got soldiers sick to where they couldn't fight and they had to be taken care of. And it got a whole society sick to where it just collapsed. And what do you do when your children start getting sick? Or you go to work and you bring this home to your kids. I'm not saying be afraid, because at the end of the day, you really don't have a choice. You're really going to have to go back into this fray. You're really going to have to go back into this machine, into this meat grinder. You will have to grab a weapon and man your post. And while this appeared grotesque and abhorrent to people, at the end of the day, it will become the cost of doing business. A grandmother, a father, a mother, a sister, a brother, a child, to the individuals is tragic. To the great machine, it's just another body. So you see pictures of these children, even children on ventilators. It will break your heart, but it'll also put you on your knees in prayer that this doesn't happen, that this angel of death will pass over my house and not stop at my door. I was just listening to the Los Angeles mayor, and this is becoming a problem. This is becoming a thing. So 3 weeks after they catch it, they don't have any symptoms. 3 weeks after they heal, after they've been isolated, the cumulative damage of this particular bug that stays in the bloodstream and continues to feed off of blood cells and continues to clot arteries and vital organs. This can't happen. So I pray to God that this is not common, that the 85 or so children that they've seen with this particular ailment is gonna still be rare. But don't let the politicians lie to you, and don't let the conspiracy theorists make you believe that this is not real. Now, nobody knows what extent that this is real and how bad this could get. But don't ever let them tell you that this is a hoax, or this is natural, or this is the flu. This ain't no flu. This ain't no game. This is real life, and we need to take it seriously. And the people out there being reckless and not taking precautions are not only rolling dice with their life, but also the life of the people that are around them, which is going to be a problem. And guess what we're getting ready to do? We're getting ready to send our children back into that meat grinder we call the public school system with 30 kids to a classroom, and we have no idea where those kids have been, or even to a greater extent where those parents have been and whom they've interacted with. All we can actually do is actually do our due diligence and offer up a prayer of protection over this child as it goes out into this world unaware that this could happen. As we have to, as we open back up this economy and go back into the great machine to serve the great economy and the greater good. Prayers of protection and prayers of salvation need to go up, and pray that the angel of death we call COVID-19 passes over us and does us no harm and goes into the bin of history as a warning to all those that would actually develop agents like this for whatever reason. Call a wake-up call, folks. Call a wake-up call. With that, I'm going to jump off of here. This is BGS out, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.